Hey class, my name is Amanda Pauley. I will be your summer 2019 instructor for MUS 110 at Nash Community College. Just a little bit about myself. I am a private voice and piano teacher. I've had a private studio for almost 30 years. I used to live in Rocky Mount and taught voice and piano there, and also taught on the campus of Nash, and taught in the studio, music directed for the school a couple of times. And so my husband's job moved us to Statesville about 3.5 years ago. So I have been teaching MUS 110 online since then. And so I have a master's degree from the University of Illinois in vocal performance. Excuse me. This is the third time I've made this video, so hopefully this time it will work. My husband and I have 3 children who are grown, one that just graduated college and 2 that are still in college. Both my boys are getting married. One is getting married in July, so it'll be during this course, and so I will be working remotely from Colorado, where the wedding will be held. And so just wanted to introduce myself and say welcome. And so the best way for you to be able to reach me and contact me will be by cell phone or email. I can also do FaceTime if you have an iPhone, if there's a problem that you just need to look at me face to face to get resolved. And we can do Google Hangout or just whatever is easiest for you. I do not have an office on campus, and I will not be on campus. And so this course is 8 weeks long, and so there's a lot of stuff that we're going to cover. I am videotaping from my home, and so this is my office here at home, and this is my 5th year teaching this course. So hopefully I'll be able to help you and navigate through as much of this as possible. I want to cover some of our basic instructions, and so hang in there with me, and I'm going to navigate through Moodle and then through the McGraw-Hill website and just give you a few basic instructions. You should have completed the enrollment verification activity as well as the online orientation, and so this should have been your next step. You should have already read our syllabus, and so on the syllabus, make sure that you look at the grade breakdown of your listening assignments and your Learn Smart assignments, so that you can see how much percentage of your grade will count from those assignments. Each week you will have new assignments that begin at 12 a.m. on Tuesday, and you have 7 days to complete those, and all of your assignments for each week will be due no later than Monday night at 11:59. I will sync grades from the work that you've done on the McGraw-Hill website, where our book and assignments are located. I will sync those into the Nash website, into our Nash gradebook on Moodle on Tuesday. So make sure that you get all of your work done by Monday at midnight. If you need an extension for any reason and you know that you are running out of time and are not going to have enough time to finish, please just send me an email or a text and just say, please allow me an extension. That way I know to expect work from you. In the first couple of weeks, I'm going to be monitoring your work and your attendance and participation pretty closely, just to make sure everybody's on board with everything, and so you don't get too far behind. So I'm going to switch to a combination of view here. This is our Moodle page and I have a small screen, so hopefully yours will be bigger. And so you should have already looked at the syllabus. On the syllabus, you will find a course outline and schedule. Please feel free to print that, download that so that you can take a look at it. For each week of class, I have everything broken down into what we will be doing. Let me just talk through this really quickly. We'll have 2 major tests this summer. One will be at the end of week 2 and one will be at the end of week 8. Yes, you will have a cumulative final from weeks 3 through 7. This is a lot of material. This is the first time I've done a cumulative test, but I do believe it will be less stress on you weekly. And so I have devoted a whole week, the last week, for review. In addition to that, you will be required to complete a Prezi timeline. Prezi is a website that I will be introducing you to during week 3 so that you can begin working on this project. It's 25% of your grade, and so it will encompass everything that we learn from weeks 3 to week 7. The first 2 weeks of class we'll be covering our elements. That is melody, harmony, rhythm, dynamics, form, and everything that goes into how music is created. So if you're not a musician, this will be laying the groundwork for everything that you're going to be listening to and writing about the rest of the semester. So please make yourself familiar with these dates and the assignments. I'm going to take it pretty slow at the beginning. Notice you only have 40 pages of reading this week, 15, 16 pages next week. But then it's going to get really intense the further that we go along. 50 pages, and even into the Romantic period, 20th century, it's over 100 pages that week. We do have a break here between July 2nd and July 8th. I will be lenient with assignments due on July 1st, and so we can talk more about that later, just so you know. You might have some time if you need, if I might open week 6 early, or I will just extend week 5 work. I will just take work, and I'll explain it to you later, give you some extra time to work on some of those assignments and catch up on anything you might not be done with. Alright, so basically each week you're going to come to Moodle. I need you to log in with, obviously, into the Nash website. This will have been the first thing, hopefully, that you have seen. And so make sure that you come to each week. There's going to be new stuff each week, and those dates are not quite right. There'll only be 8 of those weeks. All right, so each week, these are some, let's start with McGraw-Hill. The first thing that you're going to want to do after watching this video is to register for the McGraw-Hill website, where you will find your book and all of your materials and all of your assignments for this summer. And so the first thing you're going to do is follow this link. It should open into a new window. You will see a picture of our textbook. And here is our course, summer of 2019. And you will log in here. Once you start this tab the first time, make sure that you register with your Nash email. It's really, really important that you always enter into Connect using the Moodle page. That is how your grades are synced into Moodle. So make sure that all of that is done through the Moodle page. So you're going to punch this button here, go ahead and give them your Nash email account, and then everything should open to you. I'm already registered, obviously, and so I'm going to open up into this page. And I'll have to go to a student view. Just ignore this one for now. A student view. All right, and you might hear my Jack Russell. She's panting. She's 14. Her name is Lily. Maybe I'll show her to you sometime. All right, and the way to get into your textbook is you can do it one of 2 ways. This is the long version here, where you can go straight into the textbook, or you can go into the textbook using your SmartBook Learn Smart exercise. I'll get into that in just 1 minute. There is a calendar of your assignments each week, so you can find those tabs there. Also, the work that you need to do. there's a list. Well, nothing's showing up yet because it doesn't start until tomorrow. All right. And so classes, MES 110 OL. All right, so you will open up each week. Now you only get to see 1 week at a time. Later on you'll see week 1, and then next week you'll see week 2 and week 1. So you'll always have those assignments available to you. So make sure that this is where you go to find everything that you need. When it says chapter 1 and chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, this is going to correspond with the Connect assignments listed on Moodle. Okay, you have assigned to you this week, and you see the due date there. Online Cambia textbook. You can do one of 2 ways of reading that I just talked about, reading pages 1 through 40. And then you will need to complete the first 5 sections of the Learn Smart activity. And so here are those, part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each one of them are on something very different. Some of them are going to take you 2 minutes to finish. Some are going to take you 8. And so, you're looking at 5 of those. They might take you a total of 20 minutes. So it might look like a lot of work, but it really isn't that much work. And so I'm going to go into back into my instructor view because these are already open. So I'm going to go into chapter 1 on sound. This corresponds with your reading, and so I'm going to show you in just a minute how you can do reading through your online textbook or reading through your Learn Smart assignments. So it's going to open up your Smart Book. This is one way of reading. Okay, so it's starting the first section on pitch, dynamics, and tone color. And you can scroll down and you can read all of this. Some of it is not highlighted because it's not as important. So we're going to go on to the next section because there's nothing highlighted in the next section. You can read it if you want to, but you're going to see the difference now. Okay, the things that you're really responsible for are going to be in yellow. So this is an easy way to kind of skim through the chapter. You will come to videos embedded in your textbook. I would really encourage you, especially if you're not familiar with Music Elements, to watch all of these little extra videos. That will take extra time, but it's really part of your reading. So they're really valuable information, and so you will see them every now and then. They cover different sorts of parts of elements and on into all the rest of the units. You'll see them from time to time. So you see some of the text is not highlighted. That's not as important, and it won't be things that you are tested over as much. Now, if you can see this, it says Stravinsky, the Firebirds. That is one of your listening assignments, and so we'll talk about those in just a moment. So I'm looking down here to a tab that says Practice. When I have the Read tab visible, you will see Practice tab at the bottom. When the Practice tab is visible, you will see the Read tab at the bottom. Okay? Now the reading and the practice go hand in hand. To finish this assignment, a Learn Smart activity, your job is to answer all 10 items that are brought up in front of you. So you're going to answer this question based on the reading that you were doing this week. And so if you know for sure the answer, then go ahead and press the green button. If you're unsure, or if you have no idea, you can go back and you can go ahead and submit your answer, but then you can go back and read about it just so that you're sure that you've learned the material. Okay, so that is your Learn Smart activity. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the instructor view so that you can see what a listening activity will look like, even though this is not what your page looks like. That Stravinsky activity, I'm going to preview it for you so it shows up. Might just look a little different, like it'll ask you questions. Do you want to start this? and you say yes, or you say start or continue or whatever it is. And so you're going to press play, and for 3 minutes and 5 seconds you're going to be listening to this piece. And so chances are this piece has something to do with dynamics, or it has something to do with one of the instrument groups. Okay? For every listening assignment, you have information down here on the bottom that tells you about what you're listening to. You have a volume button here. Okay, so it's going to get quite loud here in just a minute. You can't forward this, but I can. And it's going to talk about each section. Suddenly very soft, strings are playing, the brass playing here very loudly, detached notes with the timpani playing in there. So this is literally going to take the place of me sitting in a classroom in front of you explaining what you hear. So please make sure that you pay attention to what's going on down here so that you know what you're listening to. Now, once you've listened to 100% of this, then your listening activity is finished. And if there is a submit button that comes up, because I don't have any questions attached to this now, make sure that you push a submit button. It might be up here toward the top. You can also do background reading about the Stravinsky. Okay, and so it'll say what instruments are involved and a little bit about the composition itself, when it was written, and things like that. Okay? Alright, so I told you that there were 2 ways. I just want to remind you, you can read the whole chapter, all of your reading pages, and everything will be visible to you in this tab here. Or you can access your LearnSmart and the LearnSmart activities and the Smart Book, which kind of highlights the section using this tab. Okay? And then once you've completed all of this information, you will see that you have 5 of these and 3 listening, and then a reading quiz. Let me just tell you, on your listening assignment, you have unlimited listening. You can listen as many times as you want. You have unlimited attempts on, and you just keep letting it ask you questions, and just keep doing practice on your LearnSmart activities. By the time we get to number 79 or 83 or how many there are, you're going to be glad that we're done with that. But that's going to help you learn the material. I will tell you this, for every quiz or every test, there's only 1 attempt. Okay? So lastly, let me just go through this. You have nothing to submit on Moodle. All of your assignments through McGraw-Hill are put in McGraw-Hill on Connect, and I sync those to a gradebook on Moodle. So there's nothing for you to put in on Moodle. Make sure that you know that. Okay, the only other things that you're going to have to send me, I will tell you to email me those grades. That includes your Prezi, that includes any extra credit, but all your tests and everything are on that. Let me just show you a couple of additional things. There is a PowerPoint presentation for Unit 1. It kind of summarizes your Unit 1, so you can watch that. And there's some extra Connect videos that you'll find under here using Connect to work for you, and also first day of class resource here for Connect. And so let me just tell you, there's a whole lot that we've got to cover. I'm going to try to make it as painless as possible, so make sure that you set aside a good 3 to 4 hours per week so that you can know that you have time to finish all your work. That includes your reading, your listening, your LearnSmart, and your quizzes. By week 8, you should be prepared and ready to put your Prezi timeline together, which I will tell you more about later. And so the most important thing is to contact me If you have any questions or hold up in any way, I will do my very best to help you, and I hope you have a great semester. There will not be class lectures and videos and all that extra that you might think that you have to watch. Everything that you do will just be listed on Moodle or in an email to me. It is vital that you check your email daily or at least every other day to make sure that you're not missing important information from me. Thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will look forward to meeting you. Make sure that you sign in and kind of tell me a little bit about yourself. There's a chat room at the beginning that you can put your name in and tell me a little bit about yourself so we can see who's in the class this summer. So I hope you enjoy it and have a great summer.